How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. God damn, my stupid buttons are not working again. Need to restart the software. What good are you, software? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Quit Stream Deck right now and restart it while we show you guys all the ins and outs of the TraderPrad stream. Alright, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day on the market. I myself didn't really trade too much today. Break even day, flat day. Was just kind of watching the markets move. It was a horrible snowstorm that we had on the markets today. So horrible snow, not on the markets. In real life today, horrible snowstorm in Toronto. So snowed in, didn't really go to the office, and since I didn't go to the office, the connection was not the smoothest. So was not able to do or trade how I would usually like to. So kept it very small size. Was a winner at one point, but later on that very same stock that I was up on, you can actually see on the chart here, is because some people convinced me that HIMS capitulated. But no, this is not a capitulation. This is actually part of the joke why today's stream title is called Capitulation Word of the Day, because in one of these Discord servers I'm in, people tried to convince me that the HIMS capitulated and set up for an insane short, but clearly it did not capitulate. The overall notion of a capitulation trade is the fact that the stock does not go back and make a new high, and it did for HIMS. For example, if you go to DAL, if you go to UAL, this is what capitulation looks like. Okay, if you go to UAL, this is what capitulation looks like. But calling HIMS a capitulation was just kind of the argument. Now the flip side to that argument, is it parabolic off the open? Yes, there's no denial to that statement that it is parabolic off the open. You're getting a 2 ATR move, a multiple, more than 2 ATR move actually. It says ATR is 4. You're getting about 2 ATR actually, so 2 times the normal ATR, which is average true range, and the stock is up, you know, quite a bit distance away from VWAP, quite a bit distance away from 21 EMA, which was actually also right where VWAP is, so it's equidistance away from VWAP and from 21 EMA, and it's got a good amount of volume going into one distance, one direction. So the fact that, you know, him's actually set up for a good parabolic short scalp, that's not a denial. But people tried to convince me that this was a capitulation short today, and because of that, I forced a short over here. I forced a big short, and I gave back all of my profits on the day. Now that I actually take a look at it, did the stock even fucking cross it? Snap. I'm gonna snap if it didn't even cross VWAP. Okay, it did cross VWAP, as I thought. So it did cross VWAP. I tried to take the fashionably late scalp on HIMS, didn't work out, took the loss. The long that I had on it was right here, the hitchhiker scalp, the nice 1 minute hold right below $53. 53 breaks out and the stock makes a nice move, easy scalp of $2 per share. You had another quick hitchhiker scalp here. You could also call it the opening range breakout. There were a couple stocks today. The market was very active today, right? The market was extremely active, and you got insane amount of opportunities across the board. So Costco was another stock that was a great example, that gave you multiple patterns to trade off of, multiple setups and multiple playbooks. HIMS, you got S&B Capital hitchhiker scalp. You can see how that candle was matched with volume, and you also got in 2 times the height of the previous 2 candles, so showing you that buyers are really being aggressive on that candle, and you know, taking prices to the high side, not really caring about where they're gonna get the fill. So nice little breakout over there, and then you got a similarly a little breakout over here with volume, but not really with the range expansion as you got it earlier, but a nice little secondary breakout. Much later in the day, I was actually looking for this second chance long, but because somebody convinced me to go short instead, I did not get the chance to flip to my long trade, or actually have my long trade that I wanted, and missed out on a big run to the upside on HIMS today. So this was one stock that was absolutely bonkers. Multiple setups to take a look at. Here's another one. If you look at Costco reported earnings and kind of slammed down from the open, from open to the low of day. It's basically 1 ATR move on Cisco. So slam down off the open, 1 ATR move, and bounces right off of yesterday's VWAP. So nice hold from yesterday's VWAP. Now you're getting a higher low, higher high. Sorry, I guess you're getting the same high, but you're getting a higher low, higher low, higher low, with a nice flat top high, giving you some sort of a easy bouncy ball pattern over here. You also get a good second chance scalp at the on the pullback and retest, and successfully holding of this area around 63.60. So you get a chance to add to your trade if you're interested in that, and the stock gives you a beautiful recovery. I shouldn't say recovery, but a good retracement back into 64.50, back into VWAP, and you get to you make about $1 per share without even risking $1 per share. So good, quick little, I want to say a B grade scalp over here from Cisco. But if you start off at the low of day where the VWAP is actually holding, you get a nice double bottom. Then the stock starts to give you another double bottom above last week's high. Then you get the bouncy ball breakout. Then you get the second chance scalp long. So just multiple trade opportunities here coming into on one ticker alone. You don't even have to go you know, to stock hunt and trade hunt. All you had to do was focus on one name that was in play and absolutely slay that one. But you know, today there were just so many names that were moving. You could have picked and chose any of them and potentially had a good day for yourself. So I'm just want to quickly take a look at UAL, because boy oh boy, that was a good long opportunity. Much later in the day also, it gives you the what do you call it, the FSL scalp, or FLS. I keep calling it FLS scalp. Let's see who's in the chat. We got TH is in the chat and John Vaughn's in the chat. Girl Trader, what's up, Girl Trader? How you doing? Thanks for the examples. Let's go. And don't say cap. Never mind. Too late for that one. Indeed, yes, too late for that one. Tomorrow is VD Day. Is that Valentine's Day? What's VD? I think you're saying Valentine's Day, right? Yeah, Valentine's Day. Get a checkup on, and Monday is President's Day. Markets in USA will be closed, so no show Monday. Thank you for being my calendar, TH. I didn't even know that Monday was a long weekend. Even better. So nice little holiday coming up for us to take advantage of. You know, the market doesn't give us a lot of days off, so when the market gives you a day off, you're supposed to take advantage of it. So nice little day off, spend it with your family. President's Day. And the American president right now is obviously, you know, very, very loved at the moment, especially by Canadians. So very interested to see. Why is that? We'll see how the tariffs news and all the other news comes out very soon. He did have a conference today. President Trump had a conference where he was talking about how Canada is not needed for America. And I was just sitting there listening to this like, oh my God, he's going to say tariffs again. And this is going to move the market around. So, you know, thankfully, it didn't really do too much. It actually moved the market higher. If you take a look at how the market moved today, QQQ almost back to all-time highs, ladies and gentlemen. And S&P 500 almost back to all-time highs. So if we actually get above this, the bull market is starting again, and we are getting ready for an insane bull season. And I think this bull market is going to last for at least 6 months or more. So very excited to see how these markets play out on a potential breakout and a hold above the all-time highs. So that's for the S&P 500, 611. Pretty easy number. It's actually 610.78, but I'm just going to round it up and you know, put it up at 611. If S&P 500 is able to get above 611 sometime this week or next week and show me buying above 6 week, I am going to love looking for the long on the market. Same thing for the QQQ. Look, stonks only go up, right? Stonks don't go down. Stonks only go up. And if there is ever a market that I'm interested to go long, it's not the S&P 500. It's more the QQQ. I'm a techie guy. I trade tech stocks more than anything. I know a little bit more about tech stocks than any other stock in general. So, and also QQQ tends to be the one that moves around a lot more than S&P 500 from what I remember. Let's actually take a look at what QQQ's ATR is. QQQ ATR is $8 and S&P 500 ATR should be exactly $6. So very interested to see. I actually want to be on this chart, not on that chart. Very interested to see how QQQ sets up going into these all-time high areas, which is 538.28. I guess you could just say I'll just say what it is, 538.30. And my screens are all over the place, Jesus. So we'll see if we get above 538.30, 539, and actually have buying on dip on every single pullback. I am very much interested to see how that holds. What are you sending me right now, dude? Okay, this guy's sending me some memes. I'm not interested in looking at the meme right now. What are you eyeing for longs if we go above those key levels? Yes, I'll talk about that in a second. So right now, just quickly taking a look at overall markets as where these all-time highs are and keeping an eye out for IWM. Kind of stuck in a range at the moment, so not really too keen on trading IWM. But you're asking me what I'm really interested to trade when these are going. Those are going to be the hot names currently moving around in the market. So some of the stocks that I've been taking a look at on my what I call the crack list, you'll see some of the stocks over here. We got AIFF moving around, GRAL up 33% today. TEM up 13%. And if you actually take a look at the stock, this is a Pelosi name. And right when the Pelosi news got announced, when she was investing in it, the stock was at $35, now at a new all-time high of $86. These are your AI-based healthcare companies. So TEM, GRAL, a little bit of the quantum names looks like they're making a move right back up. I think I only saw one making a move right back up, which is QBTS, a 7% pop up, but not really the sector to watch at the moment. The other sector to keep an eye on is the robotic sector. So AUR up 46% on the day. You got a couple other robotic stocks here. SERV, which is getting ready to take out the all-time high, so I have an alert set up at that all-time high, possible breakout. RR potentially getting ready to take out some of the ranges over here and move to the north side. Then you have the China sector. JD is struggling a little bit, but if JD can take out this resistance high, I think JD can really fly. So we'll see if JD can do something fun for us. Baidu recently announcing that they got AI partnerships and AI products coming out, and you see how Baba reacted when they announced their AI capabilities and their partnership with Apple with AI and so on. So that's a sector to keep an eye on. Another sector, the space sector, BKSY actually looks great, not only for a day trade above 18, but also for a continuation of the swing trade. You can see how previously the stock was in the consolidation, broke out, and slowly started going higher. This is very reminiscent of another name that I'm keeping an eye on, and that name is also setting up for something very similar. The stock broke out from $5, went into $6 or so, and potentially getting ready for another breakout. So these are some of the sectors that I'm very interested in. If the market's going higher, it's the sector that Trump has been boosting and juicing. So that's going to be energy sector, nuclear sector, AI sector, drones a little bit, quantum a little bit, but more so robotics. So some of the sectors that are kind of hot at the moment that are moving around, at least the ones that are on my watch list that I was able to find. There could be other ones that I haven't found yet, and if you guys know something, please educate me. Alright, I need to quickly hide my screen because I need to go to this screen and wonder why it's asking me to log in. Okay, I need to log in really quick. Continue. And I have to log in again. Continue. Are we done here? Like, can't be reached. Awesome. Alright. And now my buttons work at the very least, so that's good. Let's go show you guys the center point review of the market today. So some of the stocks that moved around: TTD, Trade Desk down 32%, Robinhood up 14%, HIMS with a monster move. Momentum as combating obesity in the US has become a focus. So that's your GLP-1 drugs, obviously the same thing that Novo Nordisk was famous for, Ozempic. So the HIMS has previously been a erectile dysfunction company, and now they're focusing on obesity. I guess they're just a drug company, right? They're focusing on a bunch of stuff. I saw their product line was vast. They have like sleeping pills, they have nootropics, they have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of other stuff too. So very interesting to see what the stock is going to do. But if you look at it on the chart, oh my god, what a day today the stock had. It capitulated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it capitulated for sure. Intel, Coin, GME, SMCI, App, Datadog, ARM, some of the other names over here moving around. ARM actually announcing that they have a Meta partnership, and that took the stock right back to the upside today. Nice pop on that Meta partnership news. Apple also popped up in the middle of the day with some news, if I remember correctly. But even that had a very similar pattern. Look at that. Usually, when a stock, this could be looked at as a capitulation candle, right? You can see how it has a big volume candle, but as I've said in that Discord server to a bunch of other people, usually a big volume candle could either be the end of a move, or the start of a new move. Shout out to my manager who taught me that sentence or the phrasing. So this was a news-based catalyst. This looked like it was the end of a move, but you can see how the stock just immediately volume dies out, doesn't really have too much movement back and forth as people are now digesting the news. The news doesn't seem to be that bearish. So on the pullback, what does it do? It actually holds the previous candle low and manages to bounce right off of it. And if you take a look at ARM, the pattern is exactly similar, right? You would think that, oh, this is a capitulation. The volume increased. The stock had a 2 times average, not average, 2 times the previous range pop, and also the previous bar was way higher than the current bar is way higher than the previous bar. The current volume is also way higher than the previous bar. So you can look at this and be like, oh, that's a capitulation. I'm just going to blindly short this, right? You would have made a little bit of money for sure. 168 to 161. Technically, you would have not lost on this if you waited for the 2-minute bar low to break or something. Let's quickly show you how the chart would look over there. That low doesn't break. The 2-minute bar low breaks over here. You'd be short 167-ish or so. Your risk would be above 168, and you get a nice move into 162 back into VWAP. But you can see how now the stock just holds VWAP, continues sideways, and pops right back up. Exactly what Apple looks like. So either that's a start of a move or the end of a move, and in this case, as news is being digested, it's kind of just, you know, not really giving you a short to the downside, not giving you a long either. It's just being digested, but very much on the watch list tomorrow for us to keep an eye on. All right, now let's go to some of the earnings names tonight after hours. So we got some big names reporting after hours, a lot of them actually. So it's going to take quite a bit of time just going through these names, reading their earnings reports. So let's start off with the big dog up there on the board. We are talking about Coinbase. So let's go take a look at Coinbase. If you guys are interested in this amazing tool that I use to check out earnings reports every single day. Spoofy's in the house. What's up, Spoofy? Apple flew today. Yes, that's because they announced a new product to their family. And Elon Musk actually retweeted that product image. So basically, it means it's either an AI thing or it's a robotic thing. It can't be anything other than that if you ask me. I think Apple is introducing something related to their own AI space, or they're introducing something in the robotic space. I just can't see anything else that would make Elon retweet the Tim Cook tweet. So very interested to see how that plays out. Anyways, if you're interested to check out Benzinga Pro, which is a software we will be using right now to read all the earnings report, you can get 10% off by using my link. Coinbase, how did you report today? Let's take a look at this. 88% quarter over quarter, but what is it year over year? These are sometimes, like, you know, fluffed up numbers. 2.3 to 1.83, nice beat. 1.6 billion transaction revenue, up 172% quarter over quarter. I'm guessing half of that was because of Trump coin. You know, subscription revenue services was 641 million, up 15% quarter over quarter. They're not showing us year over year. Notice that. Consumer trading volume was 94 billion. Maybe it's Benzinga who's not showing us these numbers, right? And not Coinbase, but we'll see. Up 176% quarter over quarter. The company said the growth outpaced the U.S. spot market, which was 126. Half of that was because of the stupid Trump coin. I don't think this is sustainable. Coinbase added several new cryptocurrencies to trade in the fourth quarter with Pepe Coin and Dog with Hat.
Alright guys, it's gonna be exciting today.
Bitcoin made up the largest. I want to see where's Solana. I'm surprised Solana is not in this. Okay, there we go. The company said Donald Trump administration is moving fast, fulfilling its promise to making U.S. crypto capital of the planet. Okay, our goal in 2025 are to drive revenue, drive utility, and scale our foundations. Companies guiding fourth quarter subscription services revenue in the range of 685 to 765. Coinbase up 3.5% at the time of the report. I mean, this is all fine, but I want to see actually So let's go take a look at stockanalysis.com. Coinbase. Sale point was a monster short today on the IPO. If you guys are watching that one, this is why I love IPOs. Let me quickly talk about sale point as to why the stock was such a good trade. However, I wasn't there to trade it because I went to go shovel snow. If you paid for shorts on this name, this stock had a big buyer at $22.90. I want to say 22,000 lots or so. 22,000 lots, that means multiplied by 100. That's how much size, actual size, was sitting on $22.90. But every time the stock popped up, it just did not have any buying really to follow through and a lot of selling pressure. So eventually 22.90 breaks and the stock plummets, giving you an insane short from 22.90 all the way into 22.70, and all you had to risk on this was like 10 cents. Liquidity wasn't bad. The stock traded 43 million shares on its day one. That's not bad liquidity, especially on that breakdown. You could have had how much ever size you wanted if you punched 22.90. I'm not sure how illiquid or how liquid it was on that breakdown, so I'm going to actually check that on. Ooh, okay, yeah, you could have gotten fills. You would have, this is the 15-second chart. You could have easily gotten filled somewhere into 2260s, depending on how big of a swipe down this area was. So this got swiped down pretty hard, but even if you fought for the trade, you could have had filled around 2260, 2255s or so, and then you're risking 50 cents, and then you obviously, you know what you got out of that trade. So monster trade over here on SAIL. Now let's go back to Coinbase, which is the stock I want to talk about. Reported earnings today after hours. They did pop up, but I think Coinbase, some of the more important things that I want to see is the daily active user numbers. Is that going up? Is that going down? Coinbase revenue for the fiscal year was up 111% year over year. Full transaction revenue up 162% year over year. Now that is good. So that's good growth compared to their last report. Their daily active users actually went a little bit lower, or their trading volume went a little bit lower. But now with all the crypto hype and all with the craziness that's going on with the Trump administration and crypto in general, I guess some of that volume's coming back. I want to see how much of the volume is being taken away by Robinhood. Obviously, Robinhood reported a really good earnings report recently, and they have shown to be stealing a lot of the people away from Coinbase and a lot of people away from other crypto brokerages. If you can trade crypto directly from your same brokerage that you're trading stonks from, why would you even need Coinbase at that point, right? So a little bit of a question mark on the successful business line for Coinbase, but at the moment they're still the number one go-to crypto broker, I guess. At least for me in Canada, they're one of the most reliable broker to go to buy cryptocurrencies. So I'm not going to be overly bearish on this just because of my bias, and based on the report, the report's banger, right? They're reporting 111% year over year growth. The report's banger. So just looking for what pattern set up tomorrow. It's going to be very much in play, right? Very much in play. Tomorrow might be the one day where Coinbase doesn't actually follow what Bitcoin does. Usually Coinbase, Bitcoin, MSTR, they all move in kind of the same rhythm, but tomorrow might be the one day where Coinbase moves in its own beat to its own drum to its own beat, whatever. Come on, stop lagging, wake up. All right, so here we go. Coinbase right now in the after hours, the charts are very boring on Coinbase, so nothing really too exciting that just stands out for me as a level to keep an eye out for. I think it's that $300 psychological level to obviously keep in mind. If the stock is able to get above 300 and stay above 300 on dips, then potentially can look long. Where the heck is Coinbase? There you go. I'll just put 300 as the inflection level for myself. Now let's go to the next stock that reported earnings. A little bit of a drop and then a pop right back up, but rejecting right off of yesterday's low. yesterday's low right around $139, $140 or so. So rejecting yesterday's low over here on the pop, which seems to be a mixed report. They didn't really miss EPS that hard, but they beat revenue. So let's take a look at this. Missing EPS slightly, beat revenue slightly. Are they growing or not? 3.8%. This is a 16% increase over earnings from same period last year. Consensus estimates, this is a 10% increase from sales same period last year. Do we have any guidance? Okay, so we do. Outlook, revenue to be between 1.13 to 1.14 versus estimates of 1.14. In line. 88 to 93 versus estimates of 99. Not in line. 2025 organic revenue to be between 7 to 8%. Company expects to generate $825 million to $850 million in free cash flow in 2025. Completed previous share repurchase program before the end of 2025. Company authorized a new buyback of up to $2 billion in January with an expiration date of 31st December 2027. New buyback, growing by 10%, showing me that the guidance is a little bit of a miss. They missed on EPS slightly, but still growing EPS year over year, still growing revenue year over year. What is this? Down by 1%. Segment revenue, what is that? Communications revenue up 12%. Fourth quarter revenue up 11%. Segment revenue down 1%. So whatever that is, down 1%. Had more than 325,000 active customers as of December 31st, up 305,000 at the end of 20. I was gonna say, like, what? How are you up 305,000 from same period last year and the stock went down? No, you're up about 25,000 from same period last year. Okay, I was a little confused over there. You're up actually around 20,000, not even 25,000. I was like, whoa, why did the stock sell off the way it did if they grew by 300,000? If you actually take a look at this, that's pretty cool. The stock dipped around one of the lines that I have drawn out from previously. I'm not sure where this line comes from, but more importantly, it actually bounced off an area. It bounced off an area from where the previous earnings VWAP ends at. That's pretty damn cool if you ask me. I love seeing things like that on the market. So it looks like that previous line, where does that line even come from? What in the... I don't even know where that line comes from. I'll be honest with you. Probably a after hour line or pre-market line. Yeah, so pre-market line or an after hour line. See how a line from way back when, not even sure what the news catalyst was for that pop, came into play right back again. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll see if these levels are in importance tomorrow. They are growing. I like the fact that the stock bounced right back up to the north side. I want to take a look at what that level is, and if the stock is above that, I think we are above that. That should be right, that one right there, right? Yeah, so we are above that. The purple VWAP should be yearly, so that's the yearly VWAP. So that's, I guess, from January to now, that's the yearly VWAP. That's around 134. So there's a couple levels here that I'm interested. More importantly, this one that I just now put in around $133.51. Not previous earnings pop, but whatever that pop is, if the stock is getting below that low, that opens up some room to the downside. I don't think this line matters as much, even though it popped off of that a little bit. I don't think that line matters as much as this one that I care about more. If we're actually not able to show me buying above that 133 tomorrow on Twilio, I just don't think there's a long at all. So either 133 or under over 133. That's what I want to say. Under over 133 tomorrow on Twilio. I'll give it a orange priority. I'm not that interested to trade the stock tomorrow. Bear's in the house. What's up, Bear? Another person in that capitulation fight. Another person to join against me in that capitulation fight today. I'm joking. What's up, Bear? How you doing, brother? Great job on the hem shorts. Great job. DKNG, talk about DKNG, DraftKings. Only way I'm talking about them is what's the next sports bet to make? No, I'm joking. Let's actually talk about them in the stock market realm. This stock is currently reporting 1.39 billion versus 1.43, missing on revenue estimates. 14 cents versus a loss of 15 cents. That's a decent beat over there. Revenue up 13% year over year. Efficient acquisition, blah 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 blah. Monthly unique players jumped by 36% year to year to 4.8 million users. Average revenue per monthly unique payer total to $97, sorry, down 16% year over year. So people are losing less money now. They're getting smarter, or they're just betting less. They don't have as much money to bet. DraftKings ended the period $788 million in cash. A bunch of statements over here for the next few months, next few years. DraftKings raised the full year guidance. That's a good news. 6.3 to 6.6, up from prior range of 6.2 to 6.6. So you only raised the bottom end. Come on. Representing approximately a 35% growth year over year. Analysts were expecting a full year revenue of 6.4 billion. So your low end is still below estimates, even though you upgraded it. It's not really that big of an upgrade if you ask me. The company continues to expect full year adjust. At the end of the day, I'm not an analyst, so it doesn't matter what I think. DraftKings noted that it is live with its mobile sports betting in 25 states, with iGaming in 5 states. The company expects to launch sportsbooks in Missouri after voters passed for legalized sports betting, so another state to be added, up 25% year over year for DKNG. And at the time, was that year over year, or was that at the time of the report? Year to date, up 25%. At the time of the report, up 5%. $50. Ooh, I like that. Nice. And $50, significant $50 area. I have a line at 49.57. Where's that coming from? Is that the all-time high on DraftKings? It shouldn't be, right? Yeah, I remember DraftKings being much higher. That's a beautiful a breakout on the monthly chart. So if we can actually get above that on the monthly chart, that'll be awesome. But look, the stock basically started at $42. That's only 15% from, I guess it's not that extended. I could see this going higher. Even though people are losing less money per person, DraftKings is making less money, but still they're growing, right? They're still growing. So if the stock is able to get above the 52-week high, I think it's going to be a no-brainer $50 level. That's going to be the inflection level. If DraftKings gets above 50, it's a long. If it doesn't get above 50, it's a short. Pretty simple. Almost like APP. If you actually take a look at APP today, kind of similar, not really, but similar idea in the sense that APP had a $500 psychological level. Either it held above 500, which was the after-hour high, the pre-market high, or it did not hold 500. And it, on the lack of it holding 500, actually gave you a monster short, a $50 per share short, where maybe you were only risking $5 per share on this position. So something like this, if DraftKings gets above 50 on the opening drive, but later off in the day it's not able to hold 50, everyone long above 50 is basically caught offside. I would love to look for the offside short on the move back down. So under over 50, you could start off your day by looking above 50 long, but later on in the day, same as APP, you might want to look short if it doesn't hold 50. Don't fight the long if it doesn't hold 50. AMAT, another one that reported earnings, getting spit on that absolutely to the downside. Stock getting demolished. Let's quickly go take a look at this report, see what type of opportunities are setting up on this one tomorrow. 2.32 versus 2.29, 7.17 versus 7.14. So why are we going down then so far? Is it the outlook? 2.3 plus or minus 18 versus 2.3 estimate. 7.1 plus or minus 400 million versus 7.2. I don't see what the problem is. What's the actual growth percentage? Can I see that number? Looks like Benzinga wants me to work for that number a little bit. So let's actually go take a look at some other links here. What kind of article is this? What kind of article is this, Benzinga? Jesus. Alright, let's just go do some actual work. Not looking good. Right? Not looking good, and that's why you're getting a drop. So no growth year over year, 4% drop on the year over year. Hopefully that's the right one. 6.5, is that what they reported just now? Let me quickly go take a look at it. 7.17, so that might be the old one. So they did grow. Q4, October, that's October. Okay, so we are at 1.701 and you reported... Wait, what? Am I reading this right? So you did grow? This is why I like to see my life being easier, and they just damn it put it in the notes itself. So overall, not sure exactly what's going on. If they did grow year over year by percentage, briefing.com. This is why briefing.com is by far the better one sometimes. And I'm joking. They're gonna cut me off. Benzinga's gonna cut me off and take my account back. But overall, you know, they beat estimates slightly on both revenue and EPS. Their outlook is not really that far out. They're in line with the EPS, kind of in line with the revenue too. I guess you could say revenue is a slight miss, but the market did not really like what they had to show for and dumped the stock into previous ranges. Sadly, AMAT doesn't get me too excited when it's stuck in these ranges. So you can take a look at how the stock is just stuck here. We are right back into last week's low, so I would say somewhere in these ranges, or maybe even back here in the 160. So is it back in the 160? Come on, stop being so laggy. 170. So as I thought, we're right back into that 170 area. Last week's low, last month's low into 160. And even if we do get into 160, being bearish under 160 just doesn't sound right to me. Going into 160 doesn't sound right to me, but being bearish under that, then potential weakness opens up. So I'm not really looking short on this name until it starts to show me some weakness below 159. So for now, 159 AMAT possible support, and I'm not really that interested on even trading this one tomorrow because it's just stuck in previous ranges. When a stock reports earnings, this is what I want to see. I want to see you blasting off into new ranges that you haven't been in for a while, either ranges that you were there for a long time ago. I'm okay with that, but I don't want to see ranges that you were just in last week, last month, last year, maybe not last year, but last week, last month. I want to see more explosion of prices and new levels discovering happening on the stock. So if that's not happening, I'm just not that interested for an earnings trade. So moving on to Airbnb, 12% growth year over year, exactly how I want to see my earnings reports. Q4 was the highest night and booking growth for the quarter. Okay, looks like they're growing across the board. I'm not seeing anything negative in the percentage numbers right now. What was your EPS at? No EPS reported in this report at all. Okay, gotta love it. Gross booking 17.6 compared to 111 million nights and experiences were booked in the quarter. That's insane. Okay. Generated 458 million free cash flow. I guess that's the only number that I really care about right now, which is a 12% growth in the stock. Outlook was not really given. Okay, it was. We expect 2.23 billion to 2.27. representing a 4 to 6% growth and a 7 to 9% excluding the impact of foreign exchange, excluding the impact of the calendar factors, foreign exchange headwinds. We anticipate revenue year-over-year growth would be 10 to 12%, the company wrote in a letter to shareholders. So expecting more growth down the line. Airbnb. I remember so many people talking shit about Airbnb back in the day, saying that, you know, this company will be a nothing, you know, it's so easy to replicate it. So many companies have tried to replicate Airbnb, but still standing strong, ladies and gentlemen, still standing strong. Looking at the after-hour levels, I mean, we clearly took out the 52-week high that I just marked. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. 52-week high is actually 170. Okay, never mind. 52-week high is much higher, but we are now into a pocket of area where the stock has been in 2024, in July 2024, but blasting off from most recent ranges. So taking out this range high, taking out this little candle high, and going into July high. So if the stock is able to actually get above this July high and trade above it, which I don't think it does so tomorrow, but if it does, if you're seeing buying above 154.50, it's a no-brainer long for me on this stock. I'm gonna put it as a support right now because in the after hours it is above it. You're seeing it play within this area, and this is what I want to see. I want to see it hold above these two lines that I just threw down, which is 155 to 154.50. I want to see the stock show me buying above this area for me to look long, and then go into 170 or even higher than 170, which I don't think happens tomorrow, but you know, does not make things very exciting. Let's see if Airbnb goes back into its all-time high territories. Right now, very close to 52-week high territories. Very, very close to 52-week high. So let's get excited for Airbnb. TraderPrad, deck bullish reversal of downtrend today. Also, could you analyze ARM Meta mentorship or partnership? Sorry. Yeah, I will for sure take a look at ARM. It's on my watch list, and we're gonna be here a long time today because I have a lot of stocks on my watch list. Right? We're gonna be here for a while. PanW reported earnings today after hours, and did you make another all-time high breakthrough? No, for the first time, PanW is not breaking all-time high on its earnings report. That's crazy, because usually I remember the stock reporting earnings and just blasting off. So going to the downside, I'm not too excited. You can see how PanW has a big institutional fight to accumulate shares on any dips. It just constantly just keeps getting bought up, so I'm just simply not excited to look for a short on PanW. But sadly, PanW is not gonna give us the long that I was envisioning for the upside. However, you know, you can look short. There's nothing to wrong for looking short on PanW if you look for the right levels, the right patterns. I'm just not interested in fighting institutional buying, because anytime it does drop down to these areas, it's going to find buying. The company makes money. They are you know, security companies, so I'm just not that interested. Like I said, going into previous ranges, I don't care. If you're going to go into previous ranges and get below previous ranges, then I'll get very excited for us to trade on. Roku, up or down? Up. Okay, $100. Is that a new all-time high? No way, no shot. That's right, I remember Roku at the, you know, COVID era into the crazy territories where I was saying, who the hell buys Roku? I don't know why people have Roku products at all. There's so many easy replacements for Roku that it just doesn't make sense to me. It never made sense to me. Okay, let's take a look at the earnings report. However, the company keeps growing, and I can't really fight against that thesis, right? When it keeps growing and people are buying their products, I can't fight the thesis. Very simple, under over $100 at the moment. You can see how it tried to get above 100 and really failed to stay above 100. Right now, trying to stay above 95, it looks like. So you have a range between 95 and 100. Let's see if Roku sets up for something known as the money trade tomorrow. If you get a nice money money trade opportunity on this one, potential long coming in. Really quickly skimming through the report, loss of 24 cents per share, still losing money. Compared to 41 cents per share. I don't want to look for the long at all. So let's continue reading the report. 1.2 billion versus 1.14, a little bit of a B increase from same period last year, 984. Total revenue 4.1 billion, up 18%. Platform revenue up 18% and up 15% year over year, excluding political and ad spending. Gross profit up 19%. Streaming households were 89 million, a net increase of 9.8 million houses got more Roku products. How is that possible? Streaming house hours were 127.1 billion, up 21.1 billion year over year. Average revenue per user $41.41, up 4% year over year. Outlook sees 1 billion versus 1.006, kind of in line, not really too much. I guess it's just this that matters really. Growing. Okay, anyways, as long as stock holds 95 tomorrow in pre-market, that's going to be your trigger to look for the first entry on the long. Off the open, the stock dips into 95, gives you a long into 95, and then it breaks out of 100. Then you can look for a breakout long punch through 100. Stock potentially ends up at 105, 110. Who knows? I don't know. Do I hate the company? Yes. Do I like money? A lot more than I hate Roku. So if I find the long in it, if the setup is there, the money trade, if you guys don't know what setup I'm talking about, all you have to do is literally go to Google and type in the money trade. Just typing in the money trade, that's the first link right there. And if you read on how the setup is, when to get long, how to take profits, go check out that setup. Very simple, brain dead, easy. Even a monkey can execute that setup, right? You have to go read it and then you'll understand it. So looking for that setup over here on Roku tomorrow. EMT question mark? WYNN. Please tell me this is the end of the earnings reports. Thank God it is. WYNN. Nothing burger move. MGM did have a little bit of a pop today, and then a good breakout also. Nice little breakout, but do I even care about trading these stocks? Get it off my watch list, please. Get it off my watch list. Not even gonna care to read that report. Okay, MRNA had a monster move up today, apparently, according to our friends over at Centerpoint. Ooh, I don't want to show you that. Let me hide that because I guess there's nothing to hide there. You can see exactly. Just go to Twitter and read Lance and Mad Az's tweets. MRNA had a green day today. Yes, it was up quite a bit, but if you look at it on the chart on the daily, I mean that looks like a nothing burger day. I don't really care about that. So moving on from MRNA, let's go to UPST. UPST day 2 of earnings today. Day 2 of earnings. It tried to go higher, kind of failed to do anything after that. Gave you a decent short opportunity too. Ooh, actually gave you a very good short opportunity for my trade setup that I look for. I actually like that a lot. I'm gonna put that in my notes too. Catalog FLS. UPST, so where was yesterday's VWAP? Bounced off actually from yesterday's VWAP, which is the earnings VWAP. Should it? Where's my earnings VWAP? Oh yeah, I'm not on my earnings chart. That's right, I'm not on the earnings chart. Anyways, yesterday's VWAP bounces off of that and then breaks down again later. Yikes. Rejects from yesterday's high and then breaks down. So a little bit of a weakness. First has a run up above 90, but then clearly weak under 90. So UPST, this is not what you want to see for a day 3 long on earnings, right? This is kind of pattern breaking for the long side, showing you that some sellers are in this area. The stock might be a little overextended, so sellers are taking advantage. Now I'm expecting the stock to kind of trade sideways around this and really show us some consolidation here, or even gap close and then bounce back, or have a failed breakdown and then bounce back. So watching UPST for the next few days, but I'm not sure if there's actually a easy trade opportunity setting up for us to take advantage of. DoorDash day 2. This is exactly what you kind of want to see for a day 2 trade of earnings. So day 1 you had a little bit of a hold. Day 2 stock pulls into day 1 lows and then holds around day 1 VWAP. You can see right there, holds around day 1 VWAP back and forth, and then blasts off back to the north side, going into the after hour highs, the pre-market highs from the earnings report. This is kind of what you want to see for a day 2. So if day 3 comes into play, that would basically be a nice dip into 200, and then if 200 holds on dips, I might be interested to look for a long. It's going to be a slower name. A slower name is actually what I like to trade, because you don't have to make decisions quickly, fast. You're not playing momentum. You're kind of playing intraday swing, or you're applying some easy scalp setups to take advantage of on the hold above 200. Shopify, let's take a look at Shopify really quick. Also at a new high over here. The volume really dying down on these names. They're not in play as much because their catalyst is not as fresh anymore, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3, so tomorrow day 4 is not really a setup. But if Shopify does hold above 126, 125, or even gets above 130 and blasts off above 130, and then any dip holds above 130, I'm then interested on a long, because it's clearly having buyers step up above 130 and buy shares. They want to buy shares above 130, and if they want to defend that area, then who am I to reject it? I'll gladly get long and use that as my support. Still watching how 130 plays out. We have 126, which is something that I'll be keeping an eye on. That's the earnings day high. CVS had a monster day today. Wow, CVS insane move to the north side, taking out the intraday high and then really blasting off. So shout out to CVS. I did not think that was even possible. Because yesterday it tried to do that and it got stuffed. So a little bit of similar pattern from yesterday, but actually managed to blast off today. CVS, a new 52-week high being put in, I believe. Nope, I'm wrong again. God damn it. CVS making a new high, 2-day back-to-back. So watching for a day 3 play of some sort. Very in play at the moment. So I'll just put in day 3 play watch. The volume is actually not bad either. If you actually take a look at it, volume's not bad at all. Where's earnings VWAP on CVS? Okay, so right around $64. So if it dips into 64, I like the long. Dips into 64 and holds 64, I like the long on CVS. VRT, how are you doing today, Sonny? I remember you breaking down. Yes, you broke down, but I don't think there's a trade here. Not too interested on a trade. Anything on A-Lab? Should be the exact same pattern. Yeah, still waiting for A-Lab. I have some alerts there. Reddit reported dropped to the downside a little bit, but tried to recover, tried to stay above 200, and actually managed to stay above 200, which is good. The problem with Reddit is Google changed their algorithm a little bit, and that affected Reddit's what do you call it, Reddit traffic. That affected a little bit of traffic to Reddit, and also AI searching. I'm actually thinking about this. The more I've been using AI to my benefit to help me research stuff, or even simple Google searches, back in the day, that used to be through Reddit. That used to be through Reddit forums. And now I basically go on Reddit for probably the worst things on the internet, like you know, people getting shot or something stupid like that. So I'm not using Reddit as much as I used to because of AI. So I can see how this could be impactful for Reddit in the future. If they don't start finding a way to work around these algorithms that are shifting and constantly evolving as technology evolves with it. So we'll be a little bit of a question mark. At the end of the day, Reddit is king. Nothing's gonna beat Reddit. You know, the 4chans and the Reddits, the internet, the kids who live on the internet like myself, the forever online, the terminally online people as myself are always going to use a product like Reddit. So I don't think it's going to die out anytime soon, but Google is giving them some headwinds at the moment that they have to navigate through. So a little bit of a down spike on Reddit, but this is why I say I don't want to fight the short on stocks like Reddit when they're only gapping down into previous ranges. Look how easily Reddit got bought up, and every single dip basically got bought right back up. Yeah, the pops got sold off too, but the dips got bought right back up. It's just a nothing burger move at the end of the day, right? So just if you can scalp the range, yes, have fun scalping it. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't care about it. I don't want to be involved in that. I'd rather go trade something more fun and more not fun. Fun's not the right word. You don't want to be having fun on the market, right? You want to be making money on the market. BROS. Let's go to Bros. Come on. Bros with a new all-time high, if I remember correctly. Getting above the IPO ranges, and now obviously waiting for any dips to see if we can get long into. Today's trade was a little bit of a nothing burger trade, but tomorrow we'll be interested to see if the stock can get active on the watch list. Priority very low, very low. Cisco was a decent name to keep an eye on. Had its reversal back above VWAP a little bit, but then that got failed. So priority low, but also on the watch for tomorrow. Some of these other names, these are names that reported recently and are kind of extended a little bit. They're a little extended, but I wouldn't blindly go looking for a short on these extended names, right? Because these are names that actually popped up recently with an actual catalyst. It's only up 4% on the daily over here. It's not really parabolic just yet, right? But they are a little extended on the intraday to the point where I don't think the stock gets above 70 without building a range tomorrow. So if it builds a range going into 70 and then breaks above 70, potentially a breakout. But for the most part, if let's say off the open it gets above 70, it's at 71 off the open, I don't think it's going to sustain that pressure, and it's going to immediately dive right back to the south side. So be a little careful for the directions of these trades. At the end of the day, price action is the only thing that matters, not my opinion or your opinion. It doesn't matter. Market doesn't care if you call it parabolic, or if you call it capitulation, or if you call it a long. As long as you are putting your bet in the right spot, you make money on it. So who cares what the word of the day is? Yes, the word of the day is capitulation, but you can call it firefly for all I care. And as long as you're making the right trade and making money, that's the only thing that matters. That's the beauty about the stock market. There's no one single way to make money. There's a million ways to make money. There's a million ways to be wrong. There's a million ways to be right. Beautiful things about the market. Go figure out your way. Quickly going to run through some of the stocks here that you might want to keep an eye out for tomorrow. AIFF potentially setting up for a little bit of a parabolic short. BBAI, I told you BBAI was not parabolic, but people don't listen to me. But hey, what do I care? BBAI, watching for BBAI for a potential continuation. The stock is slowly building momentum to the upside. You also have SERV. Did I not put S? Okay, there you are. SERV. GME popped up a little bit today with news that they're going to be potentially investing in cryptocurrencies. So GME popping up. This is reminiscent of what's that company? Something lemonade iced tea. God damn it, I can't remember what the company's name is. Like Lemonade Iced Tea Blockchain. They put blockchain in their name and the stock just closed to the upside and became like a big company overnight, then immediately got slammed right back down. So GME joining that party not too long ago. Recently, Ryan Cohen, CEO of GME, took a picture with Michael Saylor, who's CEO of MicroStrategy. So obviously I knew that there was going to be a Bitcoin headline coming out very soon, or a cryptocurrency headline coming out very soon, but sadly I did not act on it. Had I done so, this would have been a beautiful pop to take advantage in. A 20% pop and an immediate drop right back, and capitulation on GME over here in the after hours off of that news catalyst. So watch this one tomorrow for some possible action. SMCI going higher. It's trying to break out. So if SMCI has a good breakout over here, could be some fun activity above 44. So watch out for SMCI. APP clearly failed to hold 500 on the bid today. So if APP pops back into 500, I think there could be some resistance areas over there to look short off of. But if APP is holding 500 and holding 500 on the bid, there's just no more shorts at that moment. You want to be careful. Datadog, a little bit of a nice reversal candle after getting under multiple levels of interest for me. So if the stock can once again get back under these levels of interest and actually stay under, potentially some downside opening up again. But as the stock looks as of right now, it looks like it's going to find some buying in these areas instead. So Datadog, keep an eye on that one. ARM. So partnership with Meta, but I'm not sure how good the partnership is or the details of this partnership. So I might have to read about it a little bit. Move higher, Financial Times, 500 billion. Oh, that's a Stargate initiative, right? Okay. Close to acquiring Ampere, a chip designer backed by Oracle, or for around like 6.5 billion, which would further strengthen its move into chip production. The company has more than doubled its value since 2023. AI driven, blah 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 blah. After reportedly announced that Meta has become its first customer for a new in-house chip project. Okay. But what is the logistics of that project? That's what I really want to know. What does this project entail? I'm not paying to read the stupid article. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Anyways, the problem with articles like these are you want to see, ooh, what's this? Anyways, you want to see the details, like how much money they're actually going to be making off this deal. Is this new chip even good compared to Nvidia, compared to AMD, compared to Intel? Is it even good to begin with? And ARM is also not American. ARM is a British company. I want to say British company owned by Japanese, because it's owned by SoftBank. It's owned by Masayoshi, right? So it's a British company which was about to get bought out by Nvidia. The regulators came in and blocked the buyout, and then ARM IPO'd them, and they went public, and obviously a banger IPO. But overall, it's not even American. So if you know, Trump said tariff this, tariff that, tariff this, tariff that, we're going to bring all the all the chip production back into America and make America great again, and AI infrastructure and everything, and that does not involve ARM. None of that involves ARM, right? So I'm just a little skeptical, I guess you could say, as to exactly what this deal entails. Very soon that deal could shift away from ARM and go right back into Nvidia's pockets. This might be a way that Meta is trying to save some money by not having to spend a shit ton of money into Nvidia's pockets by buying Nvidia's chips, and now trying to see if they can help ARM develop a chip using their own AI capabilities, develop a better chip that suits themselves, and further their mission even quicker. So I can see why Meta is doing what they're doing, but overall I'm putting a question mark in the air for all of this at the moment, and we'll be waiting patiently to see how that plays out. Okay, that's my opinion. But if looking at technicals on the chart, I mean, let me just quickly throw that right there. Oh, that's not what I want to do. That right there. You can even kind of throw it into today's high, because it just covers a bigger picture. Once we actually break above this, at least the move to 182. So once we get above 170, I want to say, and actually showing me buying above 170, I don't see why there's not a move at least to 180 or 182 if this news is bullish enough. If this news is not bullish enough, then a breakout above 170 should be a failed breakout, and the stock should immediately get right back to the south side. So watching 170 area as a little bit of a resistance, and if we can get above 170, it's going to be an easy under over 170 for me on ARM off of that news for Meta partnership. And Meta, I mean, looking to continue its multi-green day streak. How many green days in a row is it now? It's more than 17 or 18 days now, maybe even 19 days in a row where Meta has had a green day, the longest streak any stock in the Nasdaq has had. So if you don't have that one on your watch list, I don't know what you're doing. But possible breakout above 730, especially if the market, girl trader, I don't know if you're still watching me, especially if the S&P 500 and the QQQ are breaking all-time highs. What is the one stock in the Magnificent Seven that has been ridiculously strong compared to every other stock in the Magnificent Seven, especially when the market has been pulling back? That name starts with M and ends with A in the symbol META. Okay, no other name in the large cap in the Magnificent Seven has had as much strength as Meta has had while the market's going down, and at the same time while the market's going up has had double the strength. So if there's a name that you're interested in watching for all-time high breaks while the market's continuing its ascent, Meta should be up there on the priority list. Couple other names: Hims, Hood, I think was what, today was earnings day 1, so tomorrow would be earnings day 2. Basically looking for day 2 patterns, any day 2 plays on Robinhood. TTD got slammed to the downside today on its earnings report, so potentially watching for day 2 shorts on pops on this name. If you look at it on the daily chart, that's a big drop to the downside. So any pop into today's high, today's VWAP, the stock not having any sustaining power above those levels, will be an easy short for me to look to participate into. And you can see how this little swing low from August 2024, I won't be surprised if that low starts to come into play a little bit. TEM, I talked about that a little bit, and a bunch of robotic stocks. I have no real levels that I want to talk about on these names. It's more just patterns. At the end of the day, it's all patterns and all setups. You're looking for your playbook, you're looking for your patterns, but these are some of the stocks that I am most interested in for tomorrow based on my scan. Hopefully you guys found some good trading opportunities off that for yourself. I need to change this, so I stopped calling it FSL. It's FLS. And need to remember to stop calling it FSL. So yeah, hopefully I hope you guys found some good trading opportunities off of my scan today. If you want me to take a look at any stock, throw it in the chat now before it's too late. DEC, you said DEC. I forgot to take a look at DECK. If I remember correctly, DEC got destroyed off of its earnings report. So you're talking about a bullish reversal of downtrend today. You could call this a change in characteristics. Yes, you could call this change in characteristics. Let's quickly go to DEC on my other thing here, because I need the 200-day moving average. And DEC just now getting below the 200 and the 250-day moving average. So possible buyers showing up in this area, but again, I don't know what this company does. I don't know what this company does. So when I don't know what a company does, I'm a little hesitant to say, yes, I'd like to go long, or no, I won't go long. I just have no clue. Based on the chart patterns and the technicals, clearly breakdown of this consolidation low, that gave you a good short opportunity. Now you're getting a hold above previous day high, which is somewhat a bullish pattern. What you want to see a little bit more is maybe one more day hold in this area, and then you can look for the breakout above today's high, above tomorrow's high, for a possible reversal back into the north side. But why the stock is getting rejected to the downside in the first place? If their earnings report was as good as I remember it to be, then this should not even have broken down. This should have kind of had a bottom over here. So you want to be a little careful. Really fighting for the long here. Let it settle down a little bit. If you actually look at this as a SMB scalp setup, that's actually a very, very good pattern to kind of look for on the daily chart. Look for the stock to break down, create a higher low and a higher high pattern, maybe a little boxed range over here, and then you take that boxed range breakout to join the upside, and then your stop is basically the low of this box range, not even the low of this area. Your stop is the low of this box range, just like the S&B Capital scalp setup says, and then you can catch that nice move back into the north side probably. But that scalp setup is more for intraday trades, but those same patterns can be applied for other charts too. I'm trying to find a pattern where I can potentially show you how that's set up. Let's see Cat and MicroStrategy. Caterpillar, I'm not too excited to really day trade this name. It's too spready, too illiquid for me to get excited, but it's got a nice double bottom, potentially breaking below that double bottom and giving you a short opportunity. It looks like I have an anchored view up here from previous earnings reports way back in the day, and that anchored view up is actually giving you a double support at the moment, surprisingly enough. I wouldn't be surprised if some earnings reports over here are actually outweighing the volume from this area. Anyways, nice double bottom, great reject from this double top slash triple top in a way if you take a look at it. So great reject, good support also being tested. If this support breaks, more downside coming into play for sure on Caterpillar. MicroStrategy, you got to keep in mind that this stock kind of does whatever it wants and trades with Bitcoin. It's got a little bit of a wedge pattern at the moment, so let me quickly turn on there. So it's got a little bit of a wedge pattern, a triangle pizza slice pattern. You can see it either breaks out from that area low and goes into $0. Okay, let's take it easy with these targets a little bit, but either goes down there or goes up here on a daily chart pattern. If you ask me, it's not going to 0. It's at least going down a little bit into 300, 200 or something, but a good pattern to keep an eye out for. A possible breakdown on the daily chart coming into play. Pizza slice pattern on MicroStrategy, but the bigger picture needs to match the theory. Bitcoin needs to break down and really have some sort of a big fundamental flaw in Bitcoin for me to even think about MicroStrategy short that way. There is a possible scenario where MicroStrategy has its own secular breakdown without Bitcoin breaking down. It is possible, but those scenarios I imagine have a bigger chance of a whipsaw back. For example, that pattern breaks, MicroStrategy is going down, but Bitcoin reclaims 100K and Bitcoin's going into a new all-time high at the very same moment. I don't think that move is going to be sustained long enough, and it might actually have a bigger whip back up. So that makes me a little scared to go short it at that point. But if Bitcoin's breaking down, and MicroStrategy is doing that basket, the game that we wanted to, it just makes it even more fun to take a look at. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna call it. I have some homework to do for myself, so I have to get offline. write up some charts, some notes. I mean, how many charts do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on top of that, I have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 other charts offline. So lots of homework for me. I'm not going to be able to get any sleep. So lots and lots of homework. I will see you guys on the flip side, which is tomorrow for the final stream of the week. Oh, wait. Do I have an IPO? Oh, no. I want to get offline. I want to get offline so I can make some food. And then there is an IPO tomorrow, KRMN, but I thought that IPO'd already. This was supposed to IPO tomorrow, but it IPO'd already. So looks like not too much to worry about that side. NPB, probably a small bioclinic bank shares, North Point bank shares. Okay, whatever. Not too interested about that IPO. This IPO already IPO'd and SailPoint already IPO'd. So nothing on the IPO calendar. And tomorrow's economic calendar. Core retail sales at 8:30. Export-import numbers at 8:30. That seems like about it. I'm not sure if these retail inventory numbers will actually move the market. I've never seen them move the market as much before. These 8:30 numbers also potentially not going to impact the market too much, but 3-star events, 2-star events, anytime economic calendars show you a 2-star or 3-star event, you don't want to really write them off. They can move the market, especially when CPI, which was yesterday, came out a little bit hotter than expected, right? CPI came out a little bit better than expected. It was not worse than expected. So CPI came a little bit hotter than expected, but hey, at the end of the day, that didn't stop the market to rally into the all-time high territory. So shout out to the market. Market is unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you are too. On that note, I'm out. Catch you guys tomorrow. TraderPrad out. Peace. Tech basket get destroyed. Get ready for it. Trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.